Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing today? Welcome to Sit Down and Shut Up. Today we have, I think it's MLGplantie. This will be my guess. Let's bring him on. Hey, how's it going?
Hello, Juzzy. I'm doing good. How about you?
Not too bad, not too bad. So how do I pronounce your tag? Is it MLGplantie? Is that right, or
Just call me Plenty. That's easier.
Planty? You got
Ev
it.
yeah, everyone just keeps the first three letters.
All
So yeah.
right, gotcha. Cool, man. So, welcome on. So, you mentioned in your note that you are currently High Master Ryu and you're kind of feeling stuck. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was High Master, and then I did like
Yeah,
a
rank
terrible
reset. Yeah,
lose streak.
and then the rank
No, no,
reset and everything, and yeah.
before the reset, I did a terrible lose streak.
Oh,
But it doesn't matter. Like the points don't matter. It's the level that matters. So
gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha.
But
Okay,
I reached like 1630. It's just to give you an
okay,
idea, and then
okay.
I fell off.
Gotcha. So tell me a little more about your matches. Like, what do you think is happening that's causing you to feel stuck? I know it's a bit of a loaded question, but like, what do you think is kind of happening in your games?
Can I say something a bit vague at first?
Of
Like I
course.
have an answer to this, but it's not really an answer. I feel like I'm not understanding something about the game, like something very general about the
Okay.
game,
Okay. Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm doing stuff correctly. Like some stuff I have to train them, but it comes with playtime, like
Hmm.
better anti-airs, better reactions, everything. Like okay, like that just comes from playing more. But it feels like there's something else missing, and I can't put my finger on it yet.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a
Gotcha.
bit vague, I know, but
No, that's actually a very. I think it's actually more common than you think, right? So, what I think ultimately happens a lot in these kind of, especially in fighting games, I think, because it's so, so it can get so deep, right? I think what happens is you reach a certain level, like say 1600. We kind of have created these arbitrary kind of brackets, if you will, in Master of like 1400, 1500, 1600, whatever by 100 MR. And
mhm.
I think that once you kind of start breaking into one of those brackets, right? Say from 1500 to 1600 or 1400, 1500, whatever it may be, the things that you have been doing that are working stop working, right? It's like, oh man, I can't whiff punish anymore, or I can't, my Oki always fails. Like something is happening where your existing game plan just stops working, right? You run into players that run you over and you're like, what happened?
Yeah,
You just
exactly.
get destroyed, right? And you're like,
Yeah.
what's going on here that is causing that to happen? And I think a lot of times it's because you're now knocking on the door of the next level, but you may need to run more games or get an idea of like what's next from there, right? So and what you're
Yeah.
saying I think is very common. I go through it like every time I get any sort of rank up or any sort of like breaking into the next league or whatever. Happens all the time, right? You run into somebody, you're like, oh man, I'm feeling really good. I made 1600, feeling really good. And then you run into someone that's like 1650 and they just wipe the floor with you. And you're like, what? What
Yeah.
happened, right?
What
Um,
happened there? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So okay, cool, man. So what we're gonna do? I don't know if you're familiar with the format, but what we're gonna do is run a first to three. I'll kind of get a sense of like what you're doing, what's kind of going on with your gameplay, all that stuff, and go through that. And then after that, we'll do a little replay review. So we'll take a look at one of the games that we played, take a look at situations and all that. And we'll also do a replay review of one of the ones you sent me. So you sent me a couple of
All right.
replays. We'll grab one of those and take a look at that as well, just to see if there's anything different. Right? It can help to look at like replays against me in particular, and then replays against your current ranked games, right? Because they may look a little different.
Okay, I
After
see.
that, if there's like any specific situation we want to dive into, we can hop in the lab, do a little lab work, right? Maybe there's like a situation where I kind of want to go in depth or something you have a question about, we can do that. And then afterwards, if there's time, I know you're EU based, right? So it might be a little late, but if there's time after and you want to run a first to three after, like a run back, we can, right? So sound good?
I ha- I have all night like
Oh,
ahead of me. I'm fine.
perfect.
So the small disclaimer is that I'm a bit scared about our matches because I think you're West Coast, if
I
I
am,
saw
yeah,
correctly.
yeah.
So maybe the matches will be a bit not a bit unfun or a
Yeah,
bit
it
not
may be
like
a bit laggy,
a bit
but
laggy, but
I've definitely
if it's
done.
stable, maybe
Yeah, it should be stable enough. I mean, SF6's netcode is absurdly good, to be honest. I mean,
yeah,
even if
true.
there's a little rollback and a little bit of lag, yeah, I don't think it'll make a huge difference in terms of what we're trying to get out of this, right? Because
Okay.
even if you can't like specifically react to something, there's still parts of the gameplay that I can see, right? So like maybe your spacing is a certain way, or like habits that you have in Oki, right? So like those types of things still come across even if it's a little laggy, right? A little bit of rollback's not a huge deal, right? So I
Okay.
wouldn't worry too much about the match quality, if you will, because the replay is still going to be there and it'll still be enough to talk about, I
True.
think. So
Yeah.
all right, cool. So go ahead and queue up any slot. I'll join you in a sec. So I'll just let you know I tend to deafen during this section just because I talk a lot while I'm playing the game. Mostly because
Yeah,
I'm
no problem.
recording this, right, so that you can get afterwards if you wanted to look and see what I was seeing and noticing, you can. And also the rematch, I may not rematch right away, again, because I'm talking a ton. So the counter may go down to like 1 or 2. Don't worry, I'm still here, right? So,
Okay.
all right, man. Good luck.
Good luck.
All right. So Plantie, I think I might have played them once or twice in the past. I don't think I've run into them too often because they are EU, right? And me being West Coast, I do tend to not play as many EU-based folks in particular because netcode's good, but it can be a little laggy, right? It's probably going to be like, it's actually not bad. So, yeah, that was nice. Nice. Nice parry. Okay, no anti-air, goes for parry instead, which is okay, but you gotta be careful. Uh-oh. Oh, I think they missed what they were trying to do there. Okay, very common what I'm seeing right now. So something that happens a lot, and I think I talk about this all the time, is that people like to move when they're in uncomfortable spacings. So what I just do is I just wait for them to move, right? So a lot of delay crouching medium kick, right? So I think they try to jump there. Oh, I missed the shimmy. Oh, the rollback made it a hit. Okay, so again, I think it's a very, very common thing to run into here, is that the way I'm kind of winning here, some of it is like a little bit of rollback and a little bit of lag that's kind of making some of the hits like maybe not hit the way they should. Because if I'm moving back and forth like this, it's going to look like I'm teleporting to them, kind of like how they are now. But you can kind of see that if I just kind of wait, right, they're going to press and then move backward, right? So that's how I'm kind of clipping them right now. Oh, nice parry. Right there. You see that? If I go for throw loops here. Okay. All right. So, and I think some Oki stuff, right? So remember the way that I run offense, I do tend to force a lot of decisions, right? So it can be kind of tough to deal with. Nice. Alright, so a whiff there. I probably should have punished with something else. Okay, remember, medium donkey kick for Ken or for Ryu here is unsafe. I think they're going for jump. Oh, nice. Oh. Oh, good pickup. Better super me here. Oh, dropped it. Oh, okay, went for throw. Okay, cool. So they should have killed me the previous interaction, probably with the triple axe kick or whatever. Super. Nice. Good conversion. Oh, that was nice. Oh, I dropped it? Come on. I blame the lag. So yeah, I think that their offense is actually pretty good. I think that they actually run a competent offense, and that they're able to apply pressure in a way that makes sense. There might be some neutral decision making that's a little bit that's what's causing them to lose games here, and then some of it's just Oki, right? So trying to recognize situations, right? Oh man, I was looking at the I was looking at the screen. I was like, oh, I saw the hit, and I just started doing it. Oop. Nice. Okay, I guess they're not letting me challenge after that now. That's good. Oh, I tried to check. I think we're both experiencing this right now. Is a little bit of a drop. Oh! Wasn't enough. Man, I went for the easy combo. Wasn't enough. This is why, folks, you need to do optimal combos. Okay, they went for parry bait that time. Alright, super. Reversal is good enough. Again. Oh, I didn't cancel. You gotta super me here. Oh no. That's a tough situation right there, actually. So you burned out there. The fireball's gonna kill you. So if you jump and I drive rush behind it and buffer DP, right, it's gonna catch you. All right, so I've thrown them twice now. Let's see if they make an adjustment here. Oh, that was a good read. I don't know about the burnout, though. I routed this totally wrong. Okay. I routed that totally wrong, but it worked out. So I think I have an idea what's happening. I think for the most part, it has to do with some of the neutral tendencies. So let's bring him back on. Hey, Plantie, so what do you think?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I'm still
Okay.
thinking about it.
Okay.
I know that I did a lot of stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
that's the lag, I guess. Like some buttons didn't come out, but
Yeah. I mean, that's on both
I
ends.
felt
Yeah.
very stuck in the corner. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's about right, I think. So, what I'll say happened was, in neutral, there are some tendencies you have when it comes to moving, right? So, we'll take a look at the replay. I'm sharing my screen in Discord, so let me know if you can see it, so we can take a look at the replay
Yes.
here. So what was happening was, and this is very common, by the way, for kind of where you're at, is that people will get into a spacing that's uncomfortable, right? So maybe you're a little too close, or like maybe something had just happened, you blocked it, and then at the end of that neutral interaction, maybe it was a block or whatever, you felt like you needed to back away, right? It's like, oh, this is too close. I don't want to be standing where I'm standing, so let me move, right, at some point in some direction, right? Maybe you want to move forward to try to challenge, maybe you want to move back, right? So the way I was kind of getting you was that we would play neutral, right? Maybe some fireballs or whatever. One of us would get close, and then either the interaction is blocked, right, on either end. We go back to neutral, and instead of both of us backing up, I just wait a few frames and then press my crouching medium kick, right? And then that
Yeah, and you catch me walking back.
Catch you walking back, right? And then from there, Ken is absurd, puts you in the corner, right? And then you have to guess, right? So let's take a look at one of the replays here, and I think we'll see where that's happening more.
Okay. What's interesting is that I identified a bit of this issue, but did not realize where it came from, because I was thinking to myself, playing in ranked, I was thinking, why am I getting hit by so many low buttons? I was like, am I not blocking low correctly? Am I doing weird stuff in terms of blocking? And I feel like what you just said is like explains that. Explains this feeling of
Yeah, yeah,
getting
yeah.
hit by so many crouching medium kicks,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or the lows. You know, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Or when you get hit by like you get hit when you're trying to move,
Sweep.
right? Like you walk forward and then all of a sudden you get checked, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, this is a very very common, right? And it's because a lot of folks. So the way I describe it is that a lot of folks want to play neutral, quote unquote, correctly, right? They're like, oh, I want to play immaculate footsies, I want to play like the spacing game and all that, and they're so wrapped up in the fact that oh, I need to play quote unquote correctly that it's to the point where they kind of don't do anything, right? Because like
Yeah.
when you're coming up through the game, and this happens in like every fighting game, it's like, oh, that guy mashes all the time. That guy's mashing all the time. He's pressing all the buttons all the time, right? And that's considered kind of a scrubby thing, right? Even though it's not, but not really anyway, but it can be considered like super scrubby, quote unquote, to press a button or do something all the time or be active, right? So what happens to a lot of players is that like they'll go through their block string, right? They know their minus, right, at the end of that because they ostensibly understand the game and all of that because you're a master, right? So you know how to play the game, obviously. But it's like, oh, I'm
I
minus
hope
now.
so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
I hope I really understand this. Yeah, but it's like you understand that rule, quote unquote, right? Where it's like, oh, I'm gonna press my buttons or I'm gonna do something. Now that I'm minus, I can't actually continue my turn because if they press their button, I'm gonna get counter hit, right? So I want to stop pressing buttons. At the same time, because the spacing feels uncomfortable, you're like, well, I gotta reestablish my spacing, right? I gotta reestablish like where I want to stand so that I don't get hit by something. And so
Yes,
what
okay.
players like will notice, right, is that they'll try to pick up on that tendency to move and then just let it rip, right? They'll do the crouching medium kick or the low forward, or they'll try to check your movement, right? So that I think that was kind of the main thing that's happening. I think that's where you are probably struggling the most right now. It's like you were saying, right? Oh, how did I get hit? Right? Like what am I doing that's getting me hit? And
Yeah.
it's that, right? The timing kind of
Okay.
lines up where if I just wait a few frames and then press my crouching medium kick, it might catch you moving, right? So we'll take a look at the replay here, and we'll see if that shows up. I know it showed up a couple of times in this game one, so let's take a look here.
I already have like one interaction where I see it happened, like in my head, but we'll find it. But
Yeah, we'll see if it shows up in this one, right? So far, right, if we look at what's happening here, this is totally fine, right? So we're just trying to establish our space control, right? You actually land a crouching medium punch here that beats my crouching medium kick, right? So we both press at the same time. Well, your move is faster, right? By 1 frame, I think. So that beats me,
okay.
right? So that's totally fine, right? So, like, that recognition of the fact that you wanted to press that button at that space, I think that's totally good, right? You pressed a appropriate button for the spacing you were at, right? So I would have said if you pressed a heavy button there, doesn't make sense because you get clipped, right? A light may or may not reach, right? But it could also be the right thing because, Shoto stand light kicks are kind of absurd, right? So you could have done that as well. In this
You
case,
don't say.
I know, right? Ken's is actually really good too, right? But
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, this situation here, totally fine, right? And you get your conversion into the medium, get your Denjin, right? Totally fine. So now you're in a good position, right? You have me kind of further back. You've gained some space in terms of screen control. I'm closer to the corner than you are now. You get your Denjin charge, and you're at a position where you can throw fireballs if you wanted to, right? You can move forward.
Yes.
You can continue holding space, whatever, right? Of course, me being a Ken player and Ken brained, I drive rush immediately, right? I don't like any like this right here. I want none of this, right? I don't want to deal with any of this, right? Like this is bad for Ken, right? He can't really deal with projectile war as effectively. He has to take a lot of risk, right? So if I just started blocking and dealing with the fireballs here, I'm probably going to lose the game, right? Because I'm going to use a lot of drive rather, trying to parry fireballs. If I try to jump, I'm taking a ton of risk by doing that, right? If I jump from here, you can just walk forward, DP me, right? If I try to walk forward, I have to walk and parry. And if I make a mistake, you can hit me with a fireball, right? So like this is a bad position for me. And this is why I immediately do this, right? Like as soon as I can, I drive rush in, right?
I saw, yeah.
So
okay.
Right, so now back to this, right? We're both trying to establish spacing. Basically, I'm just trying to press buttons at the tip of the range, right? I'm trying to see how you want to react and how you want to play neutral, right? And I think for the most part, you played this fine, right? We're standing at appropriate spacing, right? You're pressing buttons that make sense. You're going into strings here that I have to be aware of, be ready to check. And if I don't, I take the drive damage and the plus range, right? So I have to deal with
Ryu things.
Yeah, Ryu things, right? Like I have to press against your stand heavy punch here, right? If I want to interrupt this, right? Because you have Denjin, right?
Yeah.
So I actually have to hold this. I think. I don't think there's a
I,
gap.
I,
Right?
I was going to say you can't press here, but
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have to hold it
yeah. I take that back
because I
because you
have
have Denjin.
Denjin.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah.
If it was not Denjin, right, then
You could have.
I could have guessed, right? I could have went for a
Yeah.
jab here to interrupt. But Denjin means I have to hold this, or I take a frame trap, right? So I have to hold these plus frames here. A little too close for a throw, or sorry, too far for a throw, I think. But you can just press a light, right? So this makes a lot of sense to me because, and I think you inherently do this because people probably back up from here as well, right? Like,
Yeah. That's the idea.
yeah, yeah, 100% right. So this is exactly what I was doing to you, except here you did it to me, right? And whether or not you recognize it, like, you know, subconsciously, consciously, whatever, but you see the idea here, right? Is that people will back up here, right? Now, me being me, I tend to just kind of plant. I don't back up a ton, at least right away, right? Typically. Because of this, right? Because if I move and you do the low, right, I'm gonna get clipped, right? So, you know, that's what happens here. So then once the neutral has been reestablished, that's when I start moving again, right? So from here, after these plus frames, I block the low. And then from here, you kind of start moving again, right? So I'm like, okay, now I can try to get out of this situation, right? And yeah, so then how do you get clipped here? What happens, right? So what happened here was I basically walked back to a range where my button made sense to press, and then just pressed it, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And the
Simple
reason,
enough. Okay.
yeah, and the game plan is that simple, right? Because I don't, you know, we haven't played all that often, and I try to take these kind of matches as like, oh, what if I don't know this person when they're ranked? How do I, you know, kind of understand how they want to play, right? So the simple game plan layer one is basically if I'm in range to press a button that is appropriate for that spacing, press it, right? And see what happens. In this case, it catches you actually walking forward, right? So you're probably walking forward, maybe trying to establish a better spacing, maybe going for a throw, I don't know, but you were basically walking forward, and that's why it clips you, right? But even if you blocked here at this spacing, even though Ken is -5, it can be a little difficult to punish, right? I think with Ryu, this space might actually.
I would have been able, yes,
I
I
think you
think,
would have
but
been able
yeah.
to. But if I space these correctly, then it can be hard, right? Not saying impossible, and I'm not saying I'm really that good. I'm just saying that, you know, it can be hard, right? Because if you look at the spacing here, when I press this, if you had continued backing up and blocked, it's likely this would have hit closer to the tip, right? And it might have been a little bit better for me overall, right? So, you know, it worked out, is what I'm getting at, right? And sweep. And then driver show. So this is good, right? Force an Oki, force a guess situation here. Right, driver slow. And then I catch you walking, right? So in this case, I actually kind of challenged you as you walked up because you were too far for a throw. Right, so from here.
Okay. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I had in mind there. I think I wanted to work a bit. Like, I'm trying to establish something recently where I walk a bit forward and then do a light, and I don't really have the timing for it yet. So I get like this.
Yeah, and it's a neutral,
So, yeah.
it's a neutral thing, right? So we can talk more about like how the footsies aspect works when we get to the replay, but it's kind of like a reaction on my part where you were standing at a space where you couldn't throw. So if you walked forward or walked back, my crouching medium kick will catch you, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So I kind of hedge that, right? Because like ideally, like in a sort of like optimal situation, if you will, I would check this with a crouching medium punch, right? Because the scaling is lower, I could cancel into something else. I don't have to use drive. But if you walk backwards, you'll block it, right? So I could use a crouching medium kick instead to kind of catch both those situations at the expense of, you know, the scaling, the driver's cancel, and all that stuff, right? In this case, I actually go for a cancel, but this damage output is lower than the optimal damage, which is like a crouching medium punch into like a run DP or something, right? So I'm hedging the movement. I'm hedging the fact that you're gonna move to try to get the hit and take the the lower damage because of it versus going for optimal, right? So anyway, all right, go for the tech here. It's good. I walk up and try to throw you here, and you just tech it. It's good, right? Good parry here. But unfortunately, you parried. The parry happened kind of late, right, in the jump. So I'm actually able to recover
that's why it worked like a safe jump, right?
kind
It
of,
was
yeah.
almost
Like the timing,
okay.
the timing wise, you parried it late enough where it and like the interaction was late enough and the parry was late enough where I was able to recover. So if you look here, right, I'm in recovery frames right here, and then I'm able to tech, right?
Okay, I see.
It's just an unfortunate thing. I think it happens with perfect like when you go for parry on as an anti-air, it can happen more often than you want it to, right? Because normally you get a throw here, like probably 95% of the time, if not more, you'll get a throw in this situation, right?
Yeah.
But in this case, it didn't work out, right? So yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, right? It's sort of the trade-off of not using a DP as an anti-air, right, or some other anti-air option, right? So
Yeah.
that's just the nature, right? Because like you can parry it, right, and if you go for parry here, you can get a punish out of that. But this is what you're giving up, right? You're giving up the guaranteed damage in Oki if you do a DP, or the guaranteed damage if you do like a crushing heavy punch or something. For the option, because like if I empty jump you here, the parry doesn't work, right? You'll get thrown.
Yeah, true.
But if you anti-air me and the jump in, like a DP will beat both a jump in button and the empty jump, right? So I try it again, and then this time I kind of shimmy you, right? So like I basically am expecting you to throw because that's what you did last time, right? So then I just shimmy you, right? So. And then, because Ken is absurd, right? You had 3/4 screen and now you're in the corner, right? So that's kind of unfortunate, right?
Welcome to Street Fighter 6, everybody.
Basically, right? A lot of characters can do this, right? So you make one mistake in neutral like that, you get shimmied, and then this is what happens, right? So, all right, so good jump though. This was actually really well defended by you here. I try to go for kind of a greedier button here and try to just like space you out with this, and you jump it, right? So this is perfect. Now I have to deal with the corner pressure.
I missed my setup because
the throw.
Yeah, I missed the throw because I don't know, maybe the lag, maybe I'm
probably...
not. I haven't played the game like in 4 or 3 days, so maybe I'm a bit rusty on that.
It's the lag. Don't worry. Wink and a smile.
I don't know.
It can happen.
I don't want to make excuses, you know.
No. I mean, let's be real, right? We are playing across the globe, right? There is some latency here, and some of these frame tight, or not frame tight. Well, I mean, not frame perfect, but frame tight setups can be impacted by that. That's just real, right? So if you look at what happened here, though, defensive decision wise, right? So why does this jab work, right? So let's take a look, right? So after this throw, right, there's your setup. Now, if you have thrown, that would have definitely counter hit me here, right? So I'm in my head, right? I'm actually hedging against a couple of different things, right? So why do I wake up with a jab here, right? So I wake up with a jab here because if you throw me again, I'm going to counter hit thrown, and it's the same as blocking, right? So if you want to throw me again, you throw me again, whatever, right? If you go for a meaty option, potentially a jab or something, right? It would have to be a meaty jab given the setup here. I'm going to counter hit, right? And is what it is, right? But if you go for any other option, I'm going to beat it, right? So if you go for shimmy, I'm going to hit you, right? If you're late on the throw, like what happened here, like you make a mistake of some kind, I'm going to hit you, right? If you back up, I'm going to hit you. If you go for a neutral jump, I'm going to jab, recover in time to anti-air you, right? So,
okay, I see.
Like the jab here, and this is sort of like me trying to understand how you want to run your offense by doing this, right? So if I get counter hit here, then I know you want to run you have meaties available to you to be able to run that. But I'm basically hedging that I'm going to beat the non-meaty option, right? So if you jump, if you back up, if you do like a delay option or something else, I'm going to counter hit that, right? So I'm taking a calculated risk by doing a wake up jab here, right? So now, ideally, you throw me here, right? So you can throw me again, reset the situation, then maybe I do a different option after that, right? But because the latency or whatever caused this to happen, I get a counter hit confirm here, right? So, but I just wanted to highlight that the Oki scenario here on offense and defense on both sides is we're both trying to get information about each other on how we want to run the offense, right? Like, do they like to go for the meaty option? Do they like to go for more of the shimmy bait options? Are they doing a mix of both? Are they option selecting against what I'm trying to do, right? Like, that's all information I'm trying to glean out. And I can get that by pressing the button here. Now, it's a little risky because if I get counter hit jabbed, you could probably kill me right from here.
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Like one cash out here at level 1, potentially, right?
I don't really know, but yeah, maybe.
It'll be close, I think, right? So it's a bit of a risk. But it is round 1, game 1, right? So I'm willing to kind of put myself in that position to try to glean more information to beat you throughout the rest of the set, if I can, right? So, again, when it comes to the Oki scenarios and situations, right, the way I come after it, and we'll take a look at, let me hold off on that actually. Let's take a look at the rest of this replay and see if there's a time I can talk about it. So this was actually good here. I think this is a fine decision to make, the wake up parry here.
Actually, here I think I tried to do a meaty, but with a medium punch, and I don't remember if it works or not. Maybe it doesn't as a melee here, but
Oh, try to wake up with it. Yeah, it looks like you woke up with parry in this situation.
no,
So.
I mean in the corner. I mean,
Oh, here.
in the here, yeah. Like you can see, like I throw you there
Yeah.
after the like do drive rush, light. I think it's after this. Yeah.
Yeah. So right here. So after the jump.
So I jump, I do Hashiriki, then I drive rush and throw you once. And instead of going for throw, I try to do a medium punch afterwards. Like I throw you here. Right? Medium. Look at the inputs. You see the medium punch?
The medium punch here.
That's me trying to medium punch. I don't know if it works.
So let's think about that, right? So you are after that setup here, 1, 2, 3, you're plus 4, right? So this will work as a meaty. So
okay.
If I jabbed and this was correct, so if we take the same situation here, so you're trying to do crouch medium punch after this situation, right here. So if I mash crouch medium punch, yeah, it counter hits me, right? So that meaty option would have counter hit me from there, and you can confirm from that, right? So
yeah, okay.
That would have worked, right? If it was a throw, I mean, I thought it was a throw because I was looking at the 5-framer, and that's my bad for not looking at the the input.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
But the situation still applies. You're applying a meaty, right? So
yeah,
would I have been dead from there? Probably, actually, if I had made that mistake. But then I would know, right, that okay, I can't get away with those kind of shenanigans, if you will,
okay.
against you, right? I'd have to respect the plus frames a little bit more, right? Because some
so you value
that, right? Yeah.
you value information that as much because we're in the first round of the first game, and you're like, okay, I'm already in a bad spot or something that's just like similar to it, and you say, okay, let's take information. If I die, I die, and if I don't, it's I also get information and survive.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
is that what you say?
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of. This is kind of a mentality when it comes to like tournament sets and longer sets. I also do this a lot in like these kind of training sessions because I need to understand it, right? In order to
Of
talk
course,
about
no.
but
I think that's something standard when you want to get information. Is that it?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
I think it's one of those things where you try a defensive option, and then you understand the things that will beat it and the things that you will beat from it, right? So it's like if I do that, I did that wake up jab. What am I losing to? I'm losing to a meaty, right? Meaty throw, meaty strike. But what am I beating? I'm beating a shimmy, I'm beating a neutral jump, and I'm beating a delay button, right? So like I'm trying to get an understanding of like what you want to try to do, and I'm hedging against certain options, right? Like I know when I do this jab, I'm going to lose to a meaty. I understand that, right? Like that's inherent, and that's part of it, right? But I also know that I'm going to beat other options if you choose them, right? So that's part of it also, right? So in general, as like an offense defensive thing. Now the information gathering piece is also very important, right? Because players have tendencies whether or not you want to admit it, right? The game, people say this game is random. It's not, right? People aren't random. So like trying to get a sense of those tendencies can be very beneficial, especially in like even in like a first to 2, right, or first to 3, these sort of shorter sets, because the adjustments have to happen so much faster. You have to kind of figure it out quick, right? And a good way to do that is to just do something and understand that okay, the option I'm losing to is this. They picked that, so now you have an idea, right? Again, very minimal information. Like if you think about it as a whole, it's like I'm trying to draw these like grand conclusions from like one little interaction. But that's fighting games, right? You have to make those educated guesses. So, but yeah, that's what happens.
You don't have the time. You don't have like 3 years to determine things.
Right?
You have to make decisions quickly, and if you can get like 2% more educated guesses, it's better.
Yeah, exactly, right? Because like you go into any maybe not your local. If you know people at your local, you can kind of figure that out. But if you go to like Evo, which shout outs to people at Evo, by the way. But if you go into Evo or like these bigger tournaments, right, bigger pools, very large open tournament, and you don't know your opponent, right? This is the thing you have to kind of do, because if you just try to run your autopilot offense, it could work. But if it doesn't work and you're not paying attention, then you kind of feel stuck. You're like, oh, how do I win now, right? Like, oh, all my options are getting beat. I don't know what to do now, right? So yeah, that's kind of part of it as well. So getting back to the replay here, I do a drive rush here after the counter hit confirmed for me, and then you go for a wake up parry, right? So this I think is totally fine. And I think it's because you have some life to give here. You can take a throw. So you're basically saying, all right, if they go for a meaty button here, I'm going to win, right? So I can probably cash out maybe to level 2, maybe be able to kill me depending. If you perfect parry, maybe the scaling is too much, I don't know. But you'll be put in a really good position if you parry me, right? And it works out because I actually delay my button, and then you hold parry, and you just parry it, right? So it's just totally fine, right?
Yeah.
Right.
There, unfortunately, I'm trying to bait a jump, and the time where I don't bait is a jump. Well, that happens. I mean, I sighed a bit, but yeah.
That's what it is, right? I have to make a read on the jump, right? I'm guessing.
Oh, it's okay.
Right. So 100%, you know, it is what it is. Right, and then right there, that's the one, right here.
Yeah. I get uncomfortable because I'm too close and low on HP, so I get up and you catch me when I get up. Is that it?
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
So like after the DP here, I do a run stop, right? To see if you're going to try to do something, right? So if you actually look, you're actually plus here. Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
You lied to me.
But it's totally fake. But it is safe, right? So if you go for like an EXDP or something, or reversal me, I'm gonna be able to block it, right? So the spacing here, basically this will make you feel uncomfortable. And then after this happens, right? So look at the recovery. Right? Right. So now we're both in neutral. So let's see how many frames it actually takes for me to press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, right? So 19 frames. I wait basically a third of a second, right, before I press. I walk up and just press, right? And what actually happens here is you're not moving yet, if you look, right? You're not moving yet. And then you try to jump, and I catch you pre-jump frames, right? So, you know, I catch the movement basically, right? So, and you see, like, you're in your pre-jump, and I catch the pre-jump frames, right? So, essentially all I did there was I took advantage of the fact that we're in a spacing that I felt like you think is uncomfortable. I waited a little bit, and then just assumed you would do something, right? It happened to be a jump this time, and I caught it. But if you had moved forward, moved back, maybe in this case pressed a button potentially, right? Like, I would have caught that, right? So really all that is me reading the rhythm of your neutral, right? So how you like to move, when you like to move, how you like to press buttons, and when, right? That's basically what I'm trying to get a handle on. And then I kind of do it here, and it works out for me, right? Catch the jump, and I go from there, right? So if I were to take a look at this round, though, and kind of how it was like, where was like the moment, if you will, of like how this was going to be a problem for you, or how where it kind of fell apart, would be right about here. Right there.
Yeah.
Right. Put you in the corner. You're on the back foot now. You have to deal with corner offense. Now you almost come back here, right? You jump over me and all that, but then you take a little bit more damage after this corner interaction is defended by me here. And then now you're on the back foot a little bit because we're now not in the corner, right? We're in kind of like neutral, which maybe you feel a little uncomfortable. And then I get one good jump. And then I clip you, right? So like that, you can see how like the two neutral interactions that really made a difference were this one at the end, and then that one where you got clipped on the shimmy, right? Which is because you did the parry anti-air into the delay tech, and so I did that to you again, and then you delay tech again, right? So that's how it goes. But I mean,
to be honest, what happened? Sorry for cutting you. To be honest, what happened in my head was like, I missed the throw. Well, what happens is that I can't throw you because whatever, the timing is a bit off. So my brain just goes, well, do it again. It will work the next time.
It'll work this time, yeah.
And I need to stop doing that. Like, it kills me so many times when I do that. It's horrible.
Yeah. It's kind of hidden. I'll be honest. Like, sometimes I will be stubborn about something that didn't work and just do it again. Specifically because I think my opponent is thinking I'm not going to do it again, right? So the way I kind of approach the game, and this is a little bit more general, I guess, is that in an Oki situation or any sort of decision-making situation, I try to think of the thing that my opponent is, like, the least likely thing my opponent will think I'll do, if that makes sense, right? Like, they just went for a throw and it didn't work, so they're probably not going to do it again. So then I would go and throw them again, right? Like I'll try to do it again, right? So until I get an
Yeah.
idea, right? I mean, most of the time in these situations, it's educated guessing, right? You're hedging against certain options that are coming in, or you're making a hard read, right? So I try to play in a manner that forces my opponent to consider the least likely options so that it kind of overloads what they're considering, and then I just do something and it might work out, right? That's kind of what I try to do, right? I'm force you to make a lot of decisions. So anyway, that's just sort of how I approach the game, like offense wise, and that's kind of what happened to you here, was that you were like, oh, I got to do that same thing again, right? And in this case I was like, oh, they're going to do it again. The least likely thing I think they're going to try to do is throw, or most likely thing I think you're going to do is throw, so I'm going to shimmy and see what happens, right? So
Yeah. Okay. Predictions and surprise. Okay. I see.
exactly, right? So you're just I mean, it is a guess, right? Overall, at the end, you are making an educated guess on what you think your opponent's decision will be, right? That's just what it is. It's just that, that part can feel a little bit, random, rock paper scissory, if you will, and all that. But
It's fighting games. I mean,
yeah, it's fighting
it's
games.
the heart of it. So.
Exactly, right? Like if it was always known what's going to happen, fighting games would be boring, right? Like that's not what it is. It's kind of like poker, right? Like when if you're familiar with poker, play poker, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of luck involved, right? But there's skillful players will win more often, right? Like the better you are, the more often you'll be winning, right? Same deal, right? You are making educated guesses. You are, in those cases, playing, the correct odds. You are maximizing your expected value, right? Same deal in fighting games a lot of the time, right? So, all right. So here I try to catch you walking back. You don't this time, right? In this case, I pressed a little bit sooner, right? But you're able to block this, right? So this is good. So you get stuck in this sort of mix-up situation because you take the crouching medium punch, and then I throw you, right? So what I will say is that taking the throw here, I think, is totally fine when it comes to life lead and all that. Like the potential damage otherwise is a lot, right? If I shimmy you here, so taking the throw here is okay. The only thing is you get stuck in the corner, right? Now that said, the shimmy will also put you in the corner, right? So the end result's going to be the same.
And I would lose like 40% of my life.
Yeah, exactly,
like
right?
This.
So taking the throw makes a lot of sense. And this is what I talk about with like expected value, right? It happens the other way as well. So the expected value of the damage that you're going to take is less on a throw versus like it's less taking the throw than it is trying to delay tech, right? So all right, so here you're stuck in the corner. I'm just kind of playing unfair neutral, right? So let's leave the sequence.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So what happened there, right? Why did this kind of fall apart for you here? And part of it is because you're no longer able to play neutral, right? So from right here, after this.
Yeah, it's not neutral. You're pressing me in the corner. So
exactly, right? Yeah. Like when we talk about the neutral, like footsies, right? The idea of footsies and like the footsies triangle, right? One of the key aspects of being able to play neutral is to be able to control space, right? And create or reduce space when you want to. When you're in the corner, you can no longer control that spacing, right? You're stuck behind a wall. You can't create any additional space. So your only options here to fight out in a stable-ish manner are for you to try to check me as I walk up, or you walk up and hit me, right? Like those two options are kind of your main ways to get out. You can jump and other stuff or whatever, but like if you talk about how do I get out of the corner in a lower risk manner, right? Versus like, oh, if I jump, I get anti-air, whatever. That's the way to do it. But it's very difficult because you can really no longer whiff punish me, right? Like I can walk into your space and bully you, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it because you can't back up to whiff punish me anymore, right? You have to kind of check it or whatever, right? So that's what's happening here, is that I'm kind of controlling this space here by standing under the timer, right? Like everyone talks about standing under the timer to try to control that space, and I'm just kind of pressing buttons.
I never heard about that.
Really?
That's so good actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Such a good. Okay. Yeah, I never heard about that. So, is that a marker of where you should stand to space your? Okay.
Yeah. In SF6, yeah.
Okay, so that's just a spacing I understood and saw while watching people play or whatever, but I never realized it's just under the timer. That's so funny.
Yeah, 100%. Like if you're standing from right here, like if you look at the space, right? Like imagine you flip the characters and it's me in the corner and you standing here. You can hit me with every button that Ryu has. Stand heavy punch, hit. Stand medium kick, hit. Crouching medium kick, sweep. Every button you have is a threat from right here, right? So you can dance in and out of this range, and there's not a whole lot I'd be able to do about it, right? Because like if I try to
anti-air also.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and you can anti-air too, right? You have enough space and time. Like if assuming you don't jump a stand heavy kick or something, right? Like that happened to me last game where I went for stand heavy kick and you jumped me. But yeah, you'd be able to anti-air effectively and keep them in the corner. You don't have to cross cut, right? From here, if they try to drive rush, you'll be able to check them, right? Because there's the minimal distance they have to travel before a button can come out. So if you drive rush here, I would just check with a crouch medium punch, right? It'll come out immediately, right? Or stand light kick in Ken's case, right? So this position here is very strong, right? If you look at like high level play and you look at like even if you go watch Evo or whatever, at the top level, when this position happens, it's very much like this person is in real danger of losing the game. Even from here, right? You only taken one interaction, but you saw what happened to you, right? It was very difficult for you to fight your way out of the corner, and then all of a sudden you get mixed up and die, right? And if you look too, like watch what happens throughout this match here, or throughout the rest of this. I don't do any longer combos. That's a light string. The other one's a light string. A throw.
Yeah, you don't even use drive, like.
Yeah, I'm not using drive. Well, right there I did because I had drive. Right.
Yeah, but not in combos. Like, except for the last combo, you only did like mirrorless, driveless combos.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of that decision making that comes into that is specifically because, well, this is a little bit higher level too. We can talk about it now, I guess. Is that in SF6, the way that the meta is kind of going is that it's very much a resource management game, right? So your drive is your life. You want to maintain this as much as possible. You want to pressure your opponents as much as possible. So when it comes to how I play Ken in the corner, is I'm trying to maintain as much drive as possible, take as many meterless conversions as I can, and really only use drive to extend pressure when I have meter and I feel like it's going to open you up, right? So like right here, right? So right here, the situation is I missed the shimmy, right? I was a little late on it. It is what it is. Yeah. But if you look at your life total here, if you make a mistake in this situation, you're dead, right? I drive rush, I get plus frames, right? Jab, you have to guess. And then I think there's a lag spike, and then you get hit, right?
Yeah, exactly. There was a lag spike. Whatever.
But 100%, right? And that's totally fine. But you can see like the decision making that went into that was that now I'm in a situation where you have to guess your game, right? And if you're wrong, you're dead. And on the flip side to this, I have a ton of health here, right? So from this situation right here, after the drive rush, I do. Even if you were to reversal me right here, right? CA
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Like I'm still in the corner. You have almost all your life. And
Yep. I'll be down about a bar and a half, so I'll still be able to fight, but I'll still have everything here, right? And I'll still be in an advantage situation. Now, does it make sense to do that? 100%, right? Like if you can take that damage from me, do it, right? It totally makes sense to do because you're dead anyway, right? But that said, like I can, I don't have to worry about that as much because even if I'm wrong, the game's not over, right? But if you're wrong, the game is over. So,
I see. I was going to say something.
Yeah.
Well, it's fine. It's fine. In this replay, everything fell apart after I chose the wrong button. I think. Like you put me in the corner, and the first thing I do, first thing you do is walk back to this under the timing position that you told me about.
Yep.
Like I knew about it, but not the timer, whatever.
Yeah.
And what I do is instead of doing crouch medium kick, I do a crouch light kick.
Yeah.
If I'm pretty sure if I did a crouching medium kick, I would have gone out of the corner.
Potentially.
Yeah. It's dangerous, but it could have been something to try to fight back. So
100%, right? So
starting to understand a bit the way.
Yeah, you could have done that, right? It's something you have to hedge against, right? So it's very close. If I remember the situation you're talking about, it's very close, right? So the downside of using a crouching medium kick in that situation is that at the spacing I'm at, if I back up a little bit more and you whiff, it's a little bit easier for me to whiff punish, right? Versus a light, right? So that's kind of the hedge, the bet you're making is that if I land this crouching medium kick drivers cancel, I'm out of the corner, right? Ryu gets a side switch combo with the heavy Tatsu. Now you're back in neutral, and I'm close to the corner now, right? So, big. I'll say medium reward for you there, right? Like that's a good reward, but it's not like game-winning reward, right?
No.
But the downside is that if you get whiff punished, you may take a ton of damage there, right? Like I could go into crouching medium kick to whiff punish you, or do something else, right? If I back up, right? Because that's the bet you're gambling. That's the risk you're taking, right? If I try to bait you into that and whiff punish versus am I going to walk up or are you going to catch me walking back, right? So could it have worked? Maybe, right? It's definitely a calculated risk on your part to do, right? So if you want to do that, totally fine, right? You have to make the
Okay.
decision and do it, right? That's really what it comes down to. Like for me, the way I describe the fighting games is that there's not really any necessarily right or wrong, like flat out wrong answers. It's just varying degrees of correct, if you will, right? Like, is a reversal on wake up right or wrong? I can't say it's never wrong because it does work sometimes. It's just, is it the most correct thing to do in that situation? Maybe, maybe not, right? Same thing with that crouching medium kick, wake up, crouching medium kick. That's risky, right? Wake up, crouching medium
Yeah.
kick. That's super risky, right? But you
No, no,
are,
you're right.
yeah,
You're right.
but you are betting against the fact that I'm going to do something that allows, that will beat, right? So, yeah, would it worked? Maybe, right? Maybe. Hard to say after the fact, but it could have worked. And if it did, perfect, right? Then it was correct. If it didn't work, then it was maybe less correct. But yeah, I think you get the idea. So,
Yeah, I see. I see. Yeah.
yeah.
What I was getting at, I think, is that what I wanted to check is you walking back. So
Mm-hmm.
I think the mistake I made was I did a half decision where
Yeah.
I said, okay, I'm going to do something that catches him walking back, but crouching light kick wouldn't have worked either way because I can't cancel it. It's like I can't really link it into anything else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's again.
So, yeah, because like even if you landed it, like the reward is you hit me, but then nothing changes. Right. So, all right, cool.
Yeah, exactly. So
All right, cool. So let's
right.
get into this replay here. This was against a Rashid. We'll take a look at this game in particular here, and we'll see what's happening. So Rashid especially is really dangerous in that position we talked about, right? So if you're
Yeah.
cornered against him and he has that, even though his buttons are kind of stubby, it no longer matters because he controls all the space. So let's take a look what happens here.
By the way, tell me if I'm speaking too much or cutting you
No, you're
off
good.
too
You're good.
much.
You're good. Talk as much as you like. This is your session, man. So whatever is helping you
Okay.
understand it, I'm all for it. Okay, this was actually pretty good, right? So if you think about the interaction, it makes a ton of sense. They use meter, you use meter. You're a little bit behind, but they're knocked down, right? So this is totally fine. Okay, that's good. So this is tough right here. Right, that whiff. Like if the Rashid was paying attention, you're gonna take a ton of damage here, right? That's a easy meterless confirm from him. So just be careful when you do like drive rush after like D-revs and stuff, where the opponent gets sent further back mid-screen. Like if this was to the corner, I think it's totally fine. But doing like a drive rush heavy punch here is very dangerous because most people won't just wake up with a button from this range here.
Okay.
Let me take a look at this, right? Like
Yeah, well, full screen, like
full screen.
okay.
Yeah. You know, like both. I mean, you and the Rashid should both know that a button would whiff from here, right? So the only way that Rashid would get hit here is if he walks forward into your button, right? So less likely he'll do that, right? So
Okay.
if you did like a drive rush low, maybe you catch them, but that's really risky, right? Drive rush sweep or something. We don't really want to do that, right? So, so yeah, just be careful here. What you can do if you really wanted to take up the space is just do the drive rush, right? So you could drive rush in, or you could just dash, right? You can walk. You don't have to close the space immediately, right? As Ryu, it doesn't quite matter as much, right? Now I get that you may be feeling like you have to do that, and I totally understand that. But you have to remember that you don't like walking forward is just as strong an option because you're not committed to anything in particular, right? Especially from like as far away as you were. The Rashid would have to do something, right? You could just walk forward. Like there's nothing stopping you from walking forward, and by the time you get forward here, right here, you can walk forward. So let's if I do this right. So after the D-rev, right? So in terms of like how much space you gain back, it's not that much, obviously not as much as a drive rush, but you're still quote unquote winning that war, right? Because it's still neutral, it's still early in the game. You're trying to establish your corner positioning, all that. The Rashid's backing up, so take up the space, right? Like, I think Ryu does a good job at this space anyway, right? So against Rashid,
because of fireballs,
because your fireball is better, right? Like in that case, so you can play the fireball game here and slowly try to take up space as opposed to doing the drive rush, right? Because
I see.
after the drive rush here, right? If you go back to this, you now have 3 bars, right? So you can no longer extend your combo with a drive rush cancel. Even if this hit, right? You couldn't extend without burning out, right? So now, like from here, you're in a position where you only have one drive rush cancel in the tank now. You can't drive rush cancel here potentially. Right?
Yeah.
Unless you hit, if you land on hit it'll work. On hit you'll get some bar back and it'll be okay. But you're dangerously close to burnout now, right? Like this is
Still, even if I don't burn out instantly, I'm almost there.
Yeah, almost there, right? For a drive rush extension, right? So if you do like a meterless extension or something, that's fine. But for Ryu in this position here, you probably want to do an extension because it'll put them in the corner, right? So you have to consider your resources when you do that drive rush, right? Especially after the D-Rev, then the drive rush, lose down 3 bars, right? So you just have to manage that. Be a little aware of it. All right, good stuff here, right? Perfect, right? So the Rashid elects to take the throw, so you take it. Okay, and then he reverses, right? So I think that, the Rashid made a decision, went for it, right? You can't win every interaction, and they went for reversal, right? Yeah. Oops. I guess I'd like to replay. You just have to remember that the meter management on their part is also important, right? So you're trying to manage their meter, and you can see that they have a drive rush cancel in the tank, and they have an OD move in the tank without burning out, right? So, consider that when you're running your offense here. At some point, right? Maybe not now if you're still trying to establish everything, but one of the decisions or the points to consider when you're making an Oki decision from here is the life meter and super, right? So if you think they have the OD in the tank, right, then you have to consider it as an option. Alternatively, if you're playing a higher level player and they have 1 bar left, then it's less likely that they would go for the reversal, right? Less likely. I didn't say unlikely, just less likely, because they're going to burn out for it, right? So I've seen players make that calculated decision because they'd rather burn out on their own terms versus you burning them out, right? So that's
I saw that a lot also. Yeah, exactly.
But it's something you have to consider, right? And you learn that from a player as you play them. How conservative are they with the meter? Are they loose with the meter? Like that type of thing. Because I'm sure you played a ton of people as you're ranking up where it's like, man, this guy just did 2 drive rushes in the first 10 seconds of the game, right? Like they're burned out all of a sudden, and then you get a sense of how that player likes to play. They're loose with the meter. They want to do the extensions and the combos and all that stuff, and then you can apply a counter to it, right? So anyway, that all said, makes a guess here. Unfortunate, but it is what it is.
I mean, when I took this this mixer, I was like, okay, I'm fine. I took some meter off of him. So yeah. If I can keep him in the corner after that, I can be in a very good position. I missed my chance, but whatever. It's
it's just how it is, right? Like if you consider the risk reward ratios and stuff, right? This is a huge risk on Rashid's part here, and the reward is minimal, right? 1400 damage. Some corner positioning, like some screen position back, but no Oki, no any other reward. But if he was wrong, you're gonna hit him pretty hard here, right? Like you're gonna hit him for like 3k, 4k damage, right? Alternative on your part, if you're correct, you get to continue your offense, and if you're wrong, you take some damage, and you're still in a good position, right? So. Ooh. Okay, so good space so far, right? And I don't mind this decision here to drive rush cancel. You have full meter, right? Meter to burn. So get your plus frames. Mix up. All right, he techs this time, right? So
okay, yeah.
Right. So
whatever.
Consider that a thing he's doing now, right? So. Right. So why does the Rashid do this twice, right? It's because he didn't anti-air it the first time. So you went for an air-to-air instead, which can work. Like if you clip them out of that, but I think just walking up and DPing from here, like just DP from right here, would have been fine. I think you were committed to the jump though.
Yeah, well, the thing is that when I see Rashids do that, I'm always scared a bit of DPing because I don't really know when they are going to go down,
Yeah.
So if I use, I don't know, light DP, not light, but maybe medium DP, maybe it will whiff because they are almost like they're out of the screen. Like at some point, his can't see him anymore. So I'm like, I'm going to miss. But that's matchup knowledge, I guess, more than anything.
Yeah, I think so. And I think something you can also kind of pay attention to that can help, and this is in general thing, is that look at your screen positioning, right? Like where you're standing. Like anything that Rashid does is going to be in front of you, right? So he does this. If he does go down, or if he does this thing, he's going to be in front of you, right? So when you consider what options are coming out of that, in any situation, he's gonna be in a situation where you should be able to anti-air him, right? So if I take a look at you here,
Yeah, I was going to ask you to try something out also. Yeah. Nice. Okay.
So something like that, right? And if he does the other thing where he doesn't jump, right? So if I go back to, oops, right? So I can wait, right? I can wait. And if he does the other thing, right? So if I look at what Rashid can do here, and I don't want to go into matchmaking.
Want to play some ranked?
Yeah,
just like that.
Yeah, and if you see that, right, from here, if he does nothing, comes down to the button, right?
I can
still
DP,
anti-air, right? Yeah. And the reason that works is because you're not standing in that cross-up range, right? You're standing further back, right? So when you recognize the space you're standing at, the ideal thing you do is you recognize the options that your opponent has from there, right? So,
okay.
What I mean by that is that, like, go ahead.
Sorry, I have two questions before I forget. The first one is very technical and maybe stupid, but I didn't buy Rashid. Like, I don't have the season 1 characters.
Yeah.
Can I still replay control like this without the characters?
I think you
didn't
can.
check.
I think you can.
Okay, because I know I can't lab the character because I don't have him.
Yeah.
But I never checked if I can.
I want to say you can.
Replay.
I think you can do replay takeover. Try it.
I should try.
Yeah, give it a try. It should work. I don't see why it wouldn't. That would help a ton, actually, if you do that. Yeah.
And so, second question, while we're in this session, it doesn't take too much time. Can you try taking control of my character again, and instead of you doing jump, medium kick, try and do jump, medium punch?
Okay.
Because I think this button would have worked better.
Jump, medium punch doesn't seem like it reaches. If you're gonna do this jump, it has to be a little bit later.
Okay, I was a bit too early. Okay. So.
Yeah. But the thing is, if he goes for the normal jump, it doesn't do the enhanced thing, then your jump would have worked, I think. So if you look at, like, from here, right, from right there, if he comes down with a button, you're actually going to clip him, I think, with what you tried to do.
Yeah, okay.
So, but yeah, would it have worked in that scenario? Probably. But if you think about, like, oh, I don't want to deal with, like, guessing if he's going to do that, I would just wait and then TP him, right? Because he's in front of you, right? And that's just an easier, more universal option overall, right? Unless you want to try to maximize, like, the force knockdown situation and get, like, some crazy air tatsu setup or whatever that might exist. I think that just DPing this straight up is easier, right? Because you didn't commit to an option, right? So from here, I threw a fireball, but you're neutral here, right? So you have all the control in the world, and Rashid is just basically at your mercy here, right? Because he can't do anything. This will be in front, and then that was also going to be in front, like we saw, right? So, okay, so unfortunately here you press on the minus frames, I think.
Yes.
Right here.
I'm minus a billion. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, after the landed jump, right here. Yeah, it's pretty minus, right? You can see. So most jump ins are like that. If you land it, right, you have to be careful about pressing and challenging. If you are going to challenge a jump in like this, use a reversal, right? So
I see. Okay.
That's what I would say. It's like, oh, I know they're going to press a button after I block this. ODDP, right? Like mash DP here. That will always work, right? Because if they continue to press like this, that will always work, right? If you're making that read. Because again, why do we mash against in that? Why do we press in that situation? It's because we think whatever they're doing is going to be fake, or I have a string to blow it up, right? So why not go for the OD reversal here? You have some meter to use, right? Would it have been a risky move? Yes, but then now this Rashid may not ever press another button on the jump in again, right? Because you're mashing reversal, right? So okay, all right. So he goes for the jump here, and then you get shimmied, basically, right? So is what it is. You went for delay tech, you jumped it. That's just life, unfortunately. All right, now I got to deal with the Rashid mix here. Okay, once it goes for backdash here, burns out for this. Oh, and then you try to delay tech, I think.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. So that happens. And then you try to delay tech, but it's a little early, right? You can see here there's only one frame before you're... Oh, no, you don't. You actually just backing up. Okay.
Just got up. Okay, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So I will say that in this situation here, right, just hold down back, right? For sheet overheads, you'll see it. Yeah.
I don't really know why I
Yeah.
got up. Maybe
Yeah.
it's because it was 3 a.m. when I did this match.
Could
Maybe
be,
I
right?
don't know.
Like maybe the decision was like, oh, I need to do something and back up, right? Or maybe you're
Yeah.
trying to input something, whatever, right? But yeah, typically in the corner, just hold down back. Rashid's overhead, you'll see it coming. So, yeah. Right. So plus turns again. All right. So tick throw, kind of, right? Or jab throw, if you will. Looks like you tried to DI here. Maybe this is a D-Rev that you wanted to do. Maybe, I don't know. Looks like
I
you're inputting DI
think
here,
it
though.
was reflex. Like I was trying to DI on reflex because my brain goes, I see person in gray IDI, which is a
Oh,
bit
okay.
stupid. But
Gotcha. Like,
like, see, like this
yeah.
is also stupid because I'm too low for drive impact, but I still try it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a maybe not the right decision overall, right? Because like the way this
Yeah.
would work here is if they did a light move into you or something, or some other non-cancelable move, then it would work, right? So, but it's just risky to do that. Now it can work. This Rashid was not doing anything that allowed you to do that, though, right? So, but yeah, I think like if you think about like what was happening here and how you kind of got hit, there was just Rashid opening you up a couple of times here, right? Like you make a defensive decision, and then he happens to apply the counter to it, right? So, and then you get clipped right here, right? So,
Yeah.
Now that said, from the neutral perspective, right? Because Oki is Oki, we can talk all day about options, or whatever. But from neutral perspective, I think you actually did an okay job here, right? You held him off. Right. This was questionable, but it's okay. He didn't do anything.
Uh-huh.
Right. You open him up here.
Could have done better in terms of combo or whatever.
Yeah, but it's okay. I mean, you take what you get, right? Totally fine.
Yeah.
You get reversals here, which is okay. But if you look at the situation, you're still in the lead.
This.
Yeah. Then this happens, right? So.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, to put things into perspective, if you go back a little before when he tries to do charge tornado, I don't know the name of his fireball. I tried to do. I think one of the contests when he does that, I can do heavy tatsu, and I miss my tatsu.
Yeah. There's
And
I see the input here, and just heavy kick comes out.
and I think it was like 2 a.m. and my brain just went, I'm so mad that I missed that, and like I do stupid shit afterwards. So,
yeah, you can see that there's like a crouching heavy punch or back heavy punch that comes out, right? There's a parry attempt here, so I get it, right? It's like, oh man, that sucks. You try to do stuff and it doesn't quite work out. But yeah, I think like if we were like again, you do a pretty good job overall. Now this one is probably where it kind of fell apart for you. You get cornered,
yeah.
and then Rashid gets to run his offense, right? So. Again, not like most of the neutral situation was fine, other than that whiff drive heavy punch and then the miss anti-air here, right? That's kind of what did you in. If you talk about like the Oki setup here, we can talk about like hedging against that, blocking more, doing less doing less delay tech, or going for reversals or looking at Rashid setups. But when it comes to the neutral game, I think that's where we needed to kind of clean that up. Is that we need the anti-air with DP here, right? It's less risky,
Yeah.
and it will always work if they jump, right? Especially for a character like Rashid, who can't really change his jump arc normally, and even if he's off the wall, if he's in front of you, you can DP any of the options that comes in. Right? It's not like a Kim that can just do the elbow drop on you, right? And it's like, oh man, with my DP. This is a little bit more in your favor if you didn't commit to an option when he jumps, right? So he threw the fireball, he jumped. Now you have the entire screen space to work with, and you can DP him with whatever option he chooses, right? Because it wasn't enhanced, right? So yeah, take a look at the next game here.
I think it's pretty much more the same, but okay, that's just me being stupid.
Now this is actually, this isn't too bad. It's just that it whiffed, right? So if you were closer, a little bit closer, and it lands on the tip of this, then it's probably fine because you're actually going to be safe, and he has to block and you chunk him, right, for the drive damage. But unfortunately, it whiffs, and then he just sweeps you, right?
That's when I realized that this guy was not really at my rank. To put things into perspective, I have a mod which hides ranks because I don't want to focus on that. I want to play just the game and don't really care about the points. So I didn't know until like after checking like Buckler boot camps that this was an Ultimate Master.
Yeah.
And so I thought that this was a 16 MR Rashid, and I saw him do 2 jumps in the corner, and I was like, okay, this guy is maybe a bit crazy, so I will try to do something at the start of the round to catch him, and he backed up. And this is where I thought, okay, this guy is better than I thought, because he just backed up and whiff punished me without doing anything.
Without thinking about it, right? So
Yeah.
What I will say is that as you go up in rank, people tend to press a lot less, right? Like you see in
Yes.
this game here, he pressed like 4 buttons at this point in the game, right? Like he hasn't really pressed a whole lot. Additionally, you see them testing things more. Like he does jumps in the back, right? He does jumps in the corner. He does those types of things. He's kind of testing to see what he can and can't get away with, right? Kind of like I was talking about with you earlier, right? Is I would try things to see what might be working, and then you apply that if it makes sense, right? In this case here, you whiff something, he goes the other side, and then he starts doing this stuff, right? This is like really kind of low risk pressure. Gets plus frame here, +1. You have to guess, right? If you don't press the thing correctly, you're gonna get hit, right? Continues his pressure, and then he clips you with this, right? My guess here is he probably wanted to go into level 2. Maybe he didn't. Right. But you can see, like, Ryu definitely controls this space, right? If you go into here, like, it's hard for Rishi to really do anything. So I think that makes sense. That was fine. Unfortunate that it traded, but again, DP is universally right. So right, forces you in a mix-up situation, right? Oh, okay. So what happened here, right? Let's take a look. Take the throw here. Jumps over you. Stand medium, stand heavy kick. Or sorry, this should be stand medium punch actually. I don't know why. Right. That target combo. Right into light. I don't want to call it tornado. I always forget the name. Cyclone, I guess. So that it looks like it's a frame trap, right? So if we look here. There's a target combo hit. There's the cancel. Right? And then there's the frame trap. Right? So that's what happened there. So now you know from a light cyclone into here, right, there's a frame trap you can't press, right? Or you have to reverse it through this. Otherwise it's a frame trap. But I want to say that after this, there is actually minus if you block it, right? I have to check the frame data, I just forget. Anyway, like you were saying, you don't have Rashid, right? So you'd have to do replay takeover, I think, to look at that. Or ask someone in Discord. Be like, well, what can I do after this, right? So, okay. Good challenge here, right? So I think this is totally fine. Right. Plus, challenge. Right. Hosho jail. Alright, this burnout sequence is looking solid so far. He's holding everything. Ooh, okay. Here we go. This one was... Alright, so here's one we can talk about, and a bit of a thing. So from right here... From here, you should have supered. Right, so you don't need to spend any more bar from, like, any more meter from here. Now, I know you said it was late night set for you, right? So maybe you just kind of autopiloted. But if you think about this objectively, from this situation here,
I'm muted. Shit, sorry.
Oh,
I was saying shit, and I was just saying it's not really an excuse. It's just a context. But yeah, I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We're talking about like the situations, right? So 100%, I think just super, right? So let's talk about situation here. You land a hit, you drive rush extension, right? You can super. You'll have meter. They'll still be burned out. Forced to guess, right? Because consider the situation, right? So if we take a look at the conversion you actually end up doing.
I don't even know why I canceled there. Stupid. Like, I never do that like that.
Yeah. So like this is 5,000 damage, right? So good damage, right? Overall, it doesn't kill though, and you burn out and use all your resources for it, right? But if you take it back.
Yeah, before the second cancel. Yeah. Or the first cancel, I mean this cancel.
Yeah, so right here, right? So I don't know Ryu's optimal here, but I'm just gonna make one up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
would say DP, maybe.
And then it's
Oh,
kick, right?
yeah, it's kicks.
It's
Yeah,
kick, right?
yeah.
Oh my
Forward
God.
kicks.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's just do this instead. Right. It's like that, right?
Yeah.
Say donkey kick.
Yeah.
Right. 700 less damage. Same situation, and you have all this meter to work with, right? Drive rush cancel, drive DI, whatever you want to do here, you can do, right? So when it comes to decision making overall, right, you really want to preserve this meter if you can. You obviously should have supered, and this was supering is 100% the correct decision in my opinion here because of the situation.
Yeah.
Right? So
I was going to ask, if it was the right choice to do super. Like I was going to say maybe it's better to just take the corner carry without super, but you're saying that doing super here is better.
I think so.
Why is that?
If you think about the situation, right? So overall game wise so far, you're down around, right? So
Yes.
that's a consideration. The second thing is that if you super here, let's say you don't super, right? It would still be still be potentially two interactions to win overall, right? So you still have to fight to get that, right? But if you super instead, right, from where you were, you'd have one interaction potentially, right? And you have a chance to build some meter back because you might as well take an advantage to win this round if you can. And I say that because I'm a little bit more conservative when it comes to that. I usually say spend this to win the game because you have a chance to build it back the next game, right? You can definitely not take this with you into round 3 if you lose here, right? Like if you
Of course,
if you lose here, right, is it, right? So if you take the corner, now it's a decision that it's really a personal thing. My opinion is that you should super if you can, if you're down, right? If you're up, different story. I think if you're up, you take the corner carry, you take the advantage, right? But you're down around here. So if you super, right? Right. So this is the super you did.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at this life right here, right? So we saw that the combo I did, which is an unoptimal like ending in donkey kick into super, it was only 700 less damage, right? Overall. So this probably doesn't change. So I'm wrong. It would be one interaction either way, right? So to win. The main difference would be if you didn't spend, you'd have bar to continue the pressure, but that's separate. The question was, should I super or not, right? And I say you should, right? In that scenario, you're down around. This putting them in this position means that they may have to guess for game, and you could end up stealing it because of that, right? Like if you put them in a guess situation where they have more life, maybe they're more willing to take a throw, maybe they're more willing to do other stuff. But when they have less life, it kind of forces a decision, right? And then you can kind of beat them from there, right? You have another interaction to work with, so you have a chance to build a little bit more super bar here, right? Versus if you end the game with super, right? Like let's say you take the corner carry and you open them up and then super them anyway, then you definitely have 0 meter going into that, right? So even though it's just a small advantage, like you might build to like here, very little amount, it's still more than
it's still better.
It's better than nothing, right? And it's the same, like the ordering might have been different, but the result was the same. The main difference is now you would have a little more super meter, right? And in round 3, if you were to make it there, you'll definitely build level 1, potentially build level 2, depending on how the game goes, right? But it'll have some amount of super to use, definitely, in the next round, right? Because this is a resource, right? You have to use this. If you don't use it at all, like what's the point, right? Like you just kind of believe nothing. So give yourself a chance here, right? Especially when you're down around, I think. Now, some people think differently. Some people will say conserve it if you can, save it for round 3, use it as a comeback, blah, blah, blah. And I think that's an okay strategy, but it's only okay if you 100% know you're better than the other guy, right? So if you know that you're going to beat them, then save the super, right? If you know from this position, from right here, right?
Yeah.
Like if you know from right here you're going to beat them 100%, then save it. It's fine, right? Like if you know that. But I'm not that guy, right? I can't say for certain. Doesn't matter who I'm playing, right? Like I always assume my opponent has a way to come back and they can do it, right? So I have to try to maximize what I can.
I see.
So again, it's a personal decision. I know some guys will hold that super, right? They'll try to be a little greedy and force situations and all that. But if you consider the situation if you didn't super, right? Let's say you just take donkey kick here.
Yes, or Tatsu, whatever.
or
Yeah.
whatever, right? Like I think I, well, let's see, I think I need to go back a little bit here to get the cancel window.
Yeah. You're making your life harder.
I know, right? And it's like perfect now. Yeah, let's see if I can do it right.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
something
Now
like
I'm
that.
in the corner.
Yeah, and you look at this situation here. This is still like 2 guesses if you don't super, right? Like this is still 2 interactions ish if you don't super. So that's hard. You have to win 2
Yeah.
interactions from here. That's still hard, right? I mean, I know I say it like that, but you have to play the game and win 2 interactions, and that's hard, right? Like it's hard to do. Versus a guaranteed amount of damage you do, and it's only 1 interaction. Like yeah, and additionally, right? An opponent or person will make slightly different decisions with this type of life versus like if the life was here, right? Like, and you probably felt it all the time. We feel it all the time, right? It's like, oh, I'm kind of low on life. I need to do something,
Yeah.
and then you potentially make a incorrect decision or a less correct decision, and you lose for it, right? And that's what can happen, right? There's still that human psychology element, if you will, that exists when you have less life. So
I see. Okay.
and again, you're using this resource because you can't take it with you, right? Like, what are you saving it for otherwise, right? So,
I'll take it in my bag outside of the tourney.
yeah, right. I'm gonna go to the bank with it, right? Like, hey, here's my level 3 from that one round I played, right? So, yeah, it's yeah, I'm on the side of I would rather question my super decision in round 3 than die in round 2 with it. Right?
Yeah.
If that
Okay.
makes sense.
I see.
Yeah. Because at least you have a
I
chance.
see what
Yeah.
you mean.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
anyway.
There's also discussion on which kind of super I spend. Like I
Mm-hmm.
could have maybe spent there's other routes that give a bit more damage, and then when you do a second interaction, you kill with level 2 instead of level 3. But it's a bit more precise. Like the question is just,
Yeah.
do you use it or not? The
Yeah.
rest is
The rest is kind of the semantics, right? So there could be a
the
situation
optimization.
where
Yeah.
you hedge a little bit. Maybe you go into level 2 instead, right? And then you take an Oki scenario from the charge level 2. You have level 1 now going into round 3, right? There's that's high level decision making at that point where it's like, can I optimize how much damage I do so that it forces the next interaction to be one interaction, one touch interaction, and all that? Like that's kind of higher level thinking, right? Where you're controlling the number of interactions and how much damage you need to do. But at the end of the day, though, they're still using super, right? They're still using
exactly.
that damage, right? So can you hedge a little bit? Of course, right? You can lab that out, check your damages, make all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, that definitely exists and can be a thing. But I think that not using super here and going for corner carry is less correct than using super. That's my opinion. Now, they can be different there, but that's my opinion.
No, I agree. I think, yeah.
Because after this, right, this is really hard to win, right? Even though you're up, like life-wise, you have no resources, right?
Yeah.
And they're gonna get their meter back pretty soon. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, now this is really dangerous, right? Fully loaded, both barrels here.
I thought to myself when I did the super, and when it hit, I was like, why did I do this? I'm like, without any resources, I get DI'd, I'm dead. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I was like, yeah, of course it happens like that. I'm dead. Like, of course.
So, again, like, if it was gonna kill, totally makes sense, right? Like, not even a question.
Yeah.
The usage of super, I think, again, we talked about it at length. I think it totally makes sense as well. It's just the burnout is what got you. So if there was the other situation and you had some meter to work with, this sequence here doesn't happen the same way, right? He doesn't have to, you have to deal with the meter now. And you'd have actually full bar, right? You'd have pretty close to full bar. We saw that when I did the simple combo.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
That's crazy, yeah.
You would have had, like, that's way more manageable situation than this, right? So, putting yourself in better positions is, I think, part of what you'll have to get used to, right? Like the cash out. Now I know, this is a late night set and maybe autopiloting, whatever. But I think it really highlights how easy it is to slip into an autopilot scenario because you're like, oh, I'm going to hit the big combo and then die for it, right? So
I'm happy I did a combo, but I lost the game.
But you lost the game,
nice.
Right? Yeah. And then that's it, right? So he could just super you here, or I guess he's nice and just does this instead. So
win some time for everyone.
Yeah, it doesn't want to give you the cinematic. But yeah, I think like if you were to talk about the situation here, right? You actually did really, really well in this game up until this, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, because you were in control, right? You were totally in control of this game, this match, right? You were landing hits. You were not getting hit by their. You got hit by their frame trap earlier, but it didn't result in too much. And then you were going, you're doing Ryu stuff, right? The Rashid burned out here, and that was his mistake. And then you took full advantage of that to almost kill them, right? Or put them in a position where one more interaction would have beaten them, right?
fair things, fair view things.
Yeah, yeah. Because this sequence here was dope, dude. Like this is sick. Like what was Rashid supposed to do about this, right? And
Not
then,
much, yeah.
Yeah. And then that happens, and
Yeah,
then
and then
Rashid comes back, right? So
and then the demon took over me.
yeah, yeah,
I don't
and
know.
then from here it's like, you know, it is what it is, right? So, yeah, I think like if we were to talk about situations that I think why you're feeling stuck, the main thing ends up being the neutral interactions that you're kind of running into, where you're moving
Yeah.
in neutral, right? I think we saw that, and I think you now have an idea of what that is, right?
Yeah.
That's probably the main thing you're kind of getting beaten neutral, right? And when it comes to corner defense, it's difficult to play that neutral, the unfair neutral, as I like to call it, right? So part of it is, I think you had the right idea though, is that you do have to take some risk, and I think that you kind of hedged a little bit in that last, the interaction we were talking about where you did a crouching light kick instead of crouching medium kick. You hedged a little bit, and because of that, it ended up the chance you had to get out kind of slipped away from you, right? And then all of a sudden you were stuck in the corner defending again, right? So if I were to try to make adjustments to your existing game plan, the first thing I would say is that in neutral, try not to move as much after interactions. Try to hold your ground a little bit, block a little more, be willing to maybe press a button, right? Like if it's true neutral, then you can press and it should be okay to press, right? I mean, with the associated risk, of course. The second thing is that you actually do a really good job in terms of pressing buttons at appropriate spacing, right? Like you don't walk up super close and press a heavy. You're not whiffing lights from far away. Like you're using an appropriate button in those scenarios. So I think that's totally fine to do. I do think that the spacing can be a little bit better though. Like you can try to back up, not back up, but like press the button maybe a little bit sooner than you think. Like try to land it at the tip of the range where you have some good buttons, right? Like, stand heavy punch is really good. Stand light kick's really good. Stand medium kick, right? So I think your ranges can be improved a little bit there. Try to land it at the tip of the range as opposed to being a little bit closer, right? Now, again, you do a really good job, and I think that it's just like a minor thing, but that is something I think that will improve your overall Ryu gameplays if you do that, right? Because what'll start happening is that you'll be able to stand a little bit further away from folks and still hit them, right? Because you're actually at a better range for that, and that kind of forces people to make mistakes, right? Now they have to feel like they have to get closer, or like you can induce whiffs, right? You can induce that type of thing. Because like imagine if like I was always landing at the tip range of like my crouching medium punch, and I walk up and press it, right? Every single time I land at the tip there. Now you get kind of scared of walking and pressing buttons because you might get hit by it, clipped by it, right? So that's kind of the thing you want to induce there. So I think that's good. And then when it comes to defensive decision making, I think just be more decisive. Understand.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I was going to say that most of like maybe 80% of what I can improve is summarized by decision making and like sticking to a decision when I make it. The thing that represents that the most is this medium kick, light kick discussion that we had.
Yeah.
Is I did a decision, but was still a bit scared of getting hit. So I have if I can say that I have half-assed it. So
yeah.
I
I think that's the type of thing that gets you killed, right? Because you have to, again, like the decision might be wrong or incorrect, and you get hit for it, whatever. But she made the decision, right? Because you have to think about, and I'll talk about this a little more. I think I said I would talk about is that when it comes to options in the game, right? Like like an Oki situation is a little more like apparent to talk about. Like on offense, someone has a ton of options, right? They can meaty strike, meaty throw, shimmy, delay button, neutral jump, whatever. They have all these options. On defense, you also have options to beat the offensive options, right? You can block, and that will stop any meaty strike, right? It will not lose to shimmy or neutral jump, right? It will lose to some things, but beat other things. So what I like to tell people is that on defense, what you should be trying to do is identify something you are okay losing to. Like a big example is, I'm going to take a throw. right? I'm committed to
Mm-hmm.
taking the throw here. Okay, great. So once you commit to the throw, what defensive option can you do that will beat the most amount of options from the offensive player that isn't throw, right? So how do I beat the meaty strike? How do I beat the shimmy? How do I beat the neutral jump? Like, is there an option that allows me to cover multiple offensive options that aren't throw? Because you've already decided to not delay tech, right? So because you've decided to not delay tech or instant tech, that means that the options that your opponent can do, you have more ways to beat them, right? You don't have to hedge against everything. You're only hedging against
Yeah.
certain
Okay.
things, right? And that reduces your decision making because it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this, and if it works, I'm gonna confirm into my combo or do whatever. And if it doesn't work, I was gonna get hit anyway, right? I've decided I'm losing to this throw, totally fine, right? And that's what it is.
I
So,
see.
and because that helps a ton, right? Because I feel like what happens, especially at your rank right now, is that like I want to defend everything. Right? I don't want to get hit.
This,
I want to block. I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to hedge against everything, and
I'm
that
going to
doesn't.
win everything. I'm going to whiff punish everything,
Yeah,
anti everything.
yeah.
That's not
It's
possible.
not possible.
I know, and I
Yeah,
still try.
yeah.
Right?
Oh, 100% still try it, right? Still try to whiff punish everything. I think, but you have to recognize when you have to be okay with losing to something if it means that you can beat 5 or 6 other things potentially.
Yeah.
Right? So.
No, I meant trying. I still try in a toxic manner.
Oh.
Like I mean, I try.
Force it. Yeah.
I still try, and if I miss, I'm not telling myself, okay, it's fine. I tried and I missed. When I miss, I say, oh, I'm so bad at this game, which is very toxic way of seeing things.
Yeah, yeah. It's really hard to not be toxic in general. I mean, what I like to tell people is that be salty, right? Be mad that you lost or you got hit or whatever. You can be mad, be salty about it. That's totally fine. Process the emotion that you feel, move on to the next thing, right? I think that's a healthy way to do it. It's just you really don't want to be toxic towards other people or yourself, because that's when it gets hard, right? Especially towards yourself. You're your own worst critic, right? So if you're toxic to yourself in those scenarios, it snowballs so fast, and then all of a sudden, every time you do something, it feels like it's always wrong, and that can be really deflating when it comes to that. So yeah, cool, man. You want to run it back another first 3? You can see if not moving helps. Yeah, moving Mike's hot because it's funny. And yeah,
I'll fix my feet into the ground and see if it works.
see if it works. Yeah. So I would say if we're gonna run it back, the only advice I would give is that if you are gonna make a defensive decision, just do it, and then try not to move as much in neutral, right? So if we block or something happens, plant and wait some more. I think would be what I would.
Okay.
Consider. Yeah.
I'll try to think about it.
I'm not ready.
Okay.
Oh no, what happened? Oh,
No.
My bad. That was
the
me.
train went without you.
That was me. Yeah, that was me. I was talking and looking. I was like, I could have sworn I hit ready, and I was looking at your ready, ready thing. So.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, nice. Good pickup.
All right.
Yeah, get off me.
Oh, I don't have time to check that. No.
Oh, got shimmied.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Nice. Ooh.
Oh, no, wrong button. Shit. Oh. Okay. No. Wow.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No, and you can't do that. I always forget that you can do that.
Yeah, that's Ken privilege right there on the donkey kick.
I think you're the only one in the game that can do that when I'm spaced out. That's crazy.
Yeah, if you space it out like immaculately, like at the tip, then I can't. But if you miss it at all, then yeah.
Oh.
Woo. Nice.
Oh, what? I'm not in range.
That was like the tip range of your Oh no, no check.
Oh, you...
Oh,
I'm still in
good jump.
recovery.
Yeah, donkey kick is
no.
scary when you get jumped.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Nice. That was actually really good that you just stood there. That was good. Uh-oh. Oh, what a pickup. What?
no, I'm too far away
Oh,
because
no.
of this weird pickup.
Uh-oh, the burnout. Uh-oh. Am I dead? Oh, that was sick. That was sick. I was trying to mash out. It didn't work.
Meaty overhead, baby.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm
Oh,
too
the
far
whiff.
away. No.
Nice. There you go.
Nice.
That's what it is right there.
No.
Oh, you tried. You tried. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh,
I missed.
no.
Oh, mate.
Uh-oh. Oh, that was sick.
Let's go.
I was like, there's no way he jumps here, right? Oh.
Well, I identified that you almost never finish the Tatsus because you're fishing for reversals.
Yeah.
Not the Tatsus, the Jinrai,
The
sorry.
Jinrai, yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least in the games that we played. So.
Yeah, and Burnout especially, because it's safe now, right? So.
Oh, you can work back, yeah.
Yeah, after that one, yeah.
Oh, it's meaty. That's okay.
Yeah,
I never saw
meaty
that.
low. So you have to block it low.
Oh, nice cross, goddamn. Oh, I'm still in. Oh, that's crazy.
That's Ken
I
privilege, man.
actually didn't want to get up there.
Uh-oh. Ah!
Well,
Out! I tried. Oh, good conversion. Oh no, I'm dead.
I missed my freaking super. No! Oh,
Oh, I should just DP'd.
I'm so lucky there. I missed so many, so many stuff.
Oh, nice.
Nice parry, damn.
Oh, okay, good stuff. Oh, that's, man.
That was fair, yeah. Oh, you don't have time. A bit late on the fireball. Okay, the
Yes.
spend it.
Spend it here, right? So, I get some meter back.
Spend it's cool.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't cancel? Come on. Oh, I'm dead, right?
Ah, you were if I was not lagging my ass off.
Yeah. Super? Oh, you demon! That was sick.
Full cinematic.
That was sick. But I think like
No, I'm very rusty. Sorry, like I'm
no.
missing so many combos.
dude, it's latency and lag a little bit too, right? But you can see how much
Yeah,
better the game goes for you when you just decide to make a
crazy.
decision, right? Like you
Yeah,
just do
yeah,
it and it works. Nice.
Shit. Where's my? Oh.
Oh.
Damn, nice crosscuts.
It's the power of leverless.
Oh, you're level S, you cheater.
Yeah, cheat box. Oh, I tried to throw you. Oh, I tried to jump. It didn't work.
Nothing works when we're at free rollback
Free
frames.
rollback
I
frames,
guess.
yeah.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Ah! What is happening?
I don't know.
Okay. Correct. Yeah.
That time I waited a little bit longer, but
I tried to block low, but I was too late.
oh, I didn't get a perfect parry.
I need to stop parrying like this. Yeah. I mean, that's standard. Oh, nice. Spacing them. I'm dead.
Oh, I couldn't finish the combo.
Okay, yeah. Oh.
That's the glory of Street Fighter 6 International right there, man. That's so good. Oh, now you're scared, huh? What pressing plus frames? Oh shit.
I mean, sometimes you have to. Oh.
Nice. Oh man, I can't hit that perfect parry, huh? Nice. Level 1.
Even with the lag, it doesn't kill. Oh. Come on, take this fireball.
Shit.
Aha!
I didn't think that parry was gonna. Aw, that sucks. That's funny though.
No. I need to stop doing that.
Yeah. It's Ken privilege. Nice. Oh, very nice.
Nice thing.
Oh, there you go. Oh, who does that? Who does that? Rude. Very nice.
Ah.
Oh.
Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. I was
medium.
correct, but wrong one. Medium or heavy was right. Okay, I tried to rob you. Good job.
Yeah, I was like, no. I don't want to block that twice. Oh, I was too close.
Oh, I don't have time. Because you parried it.
Yeah, if I perfect parry the fireball
dead?
into that, yeah, it ends up. Oh, it might be. I don't know. Let's see. Ooh.
I'm dead. Damn.
Yeah, you got to be careful about the Denjin in that scenario with behind a fireball.
Yes.
I think you should just take Denjin without throwing the fireball. But anyway, but if you looked at what the games ended up being here, I know there's some latency and lag issues, whatever, but like you were more decisive on defense to just press the button and see what happens, and you got out of the corner more often, right? Because of that.
Yes.
Additionally, when you didn't move as much, it felt like I had to spend more meter, right? Because I was just doing crouch and kick drive rush, right? So I was spending more meter, and if you're defending the mix-up, that's better than getting hit, right? Because like I may get a throw, I may not, but I had spent 3 bars to do it, so I have less of those in the tank now when you defend that better. So overall, good job, man. I think that was really good. So yeah, with that,
that felt better actually. On my side, that felt way better to play.
Yeah, it feels it feels more consistent in terms of neutral, and it feels like your decisions are just your decisions, right? You're just like, I don't need to kind of waffle about it or be kind of indecisive. If I make a decision and it's correct, my only job now is to make sure I confirm into whatever I'm supposed to do, right? Oh, I'm going to run Kachimi, drivers cancel. Landed? Great. I'm going to confirm into my combo, side switch, whatever, right? So, cool, man. Yeah, I hope that helps a ton, because I think that will help you be a little more consistent in neutral. And then once that consistency starts coming in more and more, then it gets easier to play it, right? So, good stuff,
Yeah,
man.
I'll try to apply that in matches and ranks. That also, the thing about being more decisive also has a side effect of making me more active on defense, and I that's something I knew I had to do better.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You just have to make sure
else.
that when you are active on defense, it means that you are selecting the options that make sense, right? So, like, because, like, even blocking can be, I consider blocking an active thing of defense, right? Because you're actively choosing to block. So, ideally, you block you choose block more often than other options, but if your opponent is giving you a reason to do these things, then you do it, right? Like me personally, play against me, I shimmy a lot, so wake up button makes a lot of sense against someone like me, right? Like doing that. So, part of that is learning your opponent and tendencies. But yeah, I do think that you did much better on defense here because you were decisive. You're like, oh, I'm gonna press this crouching medium kick, and then he caught me like 3 times, right, doing that. So
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah.
That was very
And
nice.
that's exactly how you counter that, right? Because you were decisive about it and you did it. Like if you were waffling about it and waited, then your driver's cancel gets blocked or potentially you whiff and then you take more damage, right? So cool, man. Yeah,
Right.
if nothing
Thank you
else,
very
you have any other
much.
questions before we wrap up, or good?
I think I'm good. I'm thinking about it, but I think I'm all right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always
I
around, so
have
if
I
you
have
have any
a
questions, you can always ping me on Discord and we can chat about it for sure.
I have one question. Well,
Yeah.
it's a few question, but it's just a funny question. Why are you not at Evo right now?
Why am I what?
Is it too, why are you not at Evo right now? Is it too
Oh,
expensive for you?
yeah, I wasn't able to make it this year. It would have been nice
Okay.
to go, but I had some family obligations and stuff. It didn't quite work out this year,
Okay.
unfortunately. But next year, I'm hoping I can make it and be there for that. It was a lot of. I went last year. It was a lot of fun. Newbie Fight Club helped me get over there, and it was a ton of fun. Played a bunch of games, and I didn't make it out of pools, but I finished like 3-2 or something like that, 4-2, whatever.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's pretty
That's
good.
very
Yeah, I
nice.
felt pretty good about that performance. So, but yeah, I mean, I wish I was at Evo. Don't get me wrong. It was funny because my wife and I were actually talking about trying to go to Evo France this year, actually. So
I was going to ask if you
yeah.
are going to Evo
we were
France. Yeah.
we were seriously considering it. Actually, we're like, oh, why don't we just take like a week, like 10 days off. We'll go to Evo for the weekend, and then we'll spend the rest of the week, my
Nice
wife
and
and my kid
whatever,
in
yeah.
Nice or whatever, or travel to anywhere. Like we can go to Germany or something else, right? Like we can go wherever
Yeah.
in Europe. And we had thought about it, like seriously thought about it, considered it, and then it didn't quite work out, unfortunately, because we had to pay for a bunch of other stuff, like real life gets in the way, unfortunately. But yeah, next
That's
year,
very
though,
sad.
yeah, I'm hoping that I can go to Evo, one of them, maybe an international one,
At
because
least
it would
one.
be cool, because to go to France and or wherever they do it in the EU next year, and do that. So, but yeah, man, cool.
Yeah.
So
That's thank you for the
yeah,
nice training session. It
yeah,
was very
yeah. I hope it was helpful.
insightful.
Yeah. Yeah, great.
It was.
So yeah, this will be posted on the YouTube channel probably tomorrow at some point. And again, if you have any questions
Okay.
around, but otherwise, man, you did great today. So thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, have a good night.
Have a good night.
All right, thank you guys for watching. This was on Shut Up. Appreciate you guys tuning in. This was a good one to watch, I think. I run this through the Fight Rise Discord. So Fight Rise is a fighting community focused on Street Fighter 6. They run bi-weekly events through their One Fight Stand series. It is a 7-round Swiss with rank separation. So depending on where you are in your rank journey, you'll be able to get 7 rounds of Swiss. If you're below Master, you'll be put into a round robin pool, hopefully with 7 other players, also non-Master, and be able to play 7 rounds of tournament level sets there. It's a really great time. Good way to get tournament sets in a more casual setting, lower pressure, if you will, setting. Get to meet the community and all that. They also do community showcase events through their Urge to Fight series. So you can take a look at their twitch.tv/FightRiseFGC for previous episodes of that. I do commentary for them every so often. It's a good time. Get to see the community. Folks that have been leveling up, get to show off their skills in some exhibition matches. It's a really good time. They also do Big League KO. So Big League KO is their league format. It is a round robin with 8 people playing in round robin, so 7 rounds round robin spread out over the course of a month. You get to run 2 matches a week. They're all first to 5s, so a good way to get longer sets in a tournament kind of pressure setting. And if you do well in your pool, there's a postseason you get to play in, and at the end of that, there's a tournament to play, and I get to do commentary for that sometimes as well. So it's a lot of fun for that. If you like what I'm doing here and you're interested in a session like this for yourself, please check out fightrise.com/discord. Check the Discord out and take a look at the level up section. There'll be a couple of channels there. Mine's called Sit Down Shut Up. And if you take a look at the channel there, you'll be able to look at the pin messages to see how you can get a session for this for yourself. There's also some great coaches with Satorha and Jason Loserpants doing coaching as well. Their threads are there, and their pinned messages show how to join for coaching sessions from them. So if you're interested in that at all, please join the Discord, take a look at those, and feel free to sign up. Also, I'm part of the Newbie Fight Club. So Newbie Fight Club is a fighting community focused on getting newer players into the game. They do lobby nights every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday is a modern lobby night, so if you run modern and or interested in running modern, you can join on Mondays. You don't have to run modern, but it's kind of encouraged, sort of the theme for the night. Wednesday is our newbie night. So if you're new to the game and want to get games with other newbies, you can join in there, and we'll be in the battle hub playing games. Friday is usually a little more freeform. Everyone kind of jumps into a lobby and we play. They do round robin tournaments, or I think it's Swiss tournaments actually, every other Friday. I think they're off this month because of Evo. So if you're interested in another tournament to join, you can join that. And the also thing they're doing now is once a month they do a modern monthly. So if you are a modern warrior and wants to fight other modern warriors and a modern only tournament, you can join that. Take a look if you're interested in any of those things. Take a look at the Discord from the Fight Club. Take a look at events, and they should give you interest in a sign up. So once again, I really appreciate you guys watching. If you're out there, thank you guys for your likes, follows, your chats, and all that good stuff. And I'll call it there. So have a good afternoon. Take care, guys.